Kyrie Irving has gone on the record saying the Earth is flat, the moon landing was fake, and dinosaurs never existed. This is post-game. He's long had a troubled relationship with critical thinking. Stepping into Irving's mind must feel like entering that trippy tunnel of horrors from the original Willy Wonka movie. This is a guy who once shot down a question about the distractions he causes by saying, if you're very much woke, there's no such thing as distractions. Irving has a weird answer for everything, and that includes his career moves. The moment Kyrie arrived in Cleveland, he wanted to play with some big names. With the team's other highest scorers being Anderson Varejao, Lester Hudson, and a 35-year-old Antoine Jameson, that was perfectly understandable. Not only did he get a big name, he got the biggest name of all when LeBron James returned to the Cavs in 2014. But Kyrie still wasn't happy. That was despite having everything he ever wanted. A great team with superstar teammates, the ability to contend every year, and a championship ring. And yet Irving still couldn't stand taking instructions from LeBron and living in his shadow. So in 2017, he demanded a trade and ended up in Boston. Thankfully, the Celtics fulfilled all of Kyrie's new requirements. The main one being that his teammates were good, but not too good, meaning he could win games while still being the number one guy. The Celtics also looked like they would contend for years to come, had one of the best coaches in the league, and played in one of America's greatest sporting cities. On all fronts, it was an ideal situation, but not according to Kyrie. This is a guy who'd visit a tropical resort and complain about the glare from the perfectly white sand. The problem? Boston's young core had become too good. With Irving sidelined throughout last year's playoffs, the Celtics' young stars were asked to step up. They did exactly that, coming within one game of making the NBA Finals. But when Kyrie returned this season, he couldn't find a way to make things work. The team had been setting the basketball world on fire without him, but was painfully underwhelming with him. Irving was quick to point the finger, quickly deciding everyone else was to blame. Having left Cleveland because he was sick of listening to LeBron and wanted to do everything himself, he'd become annoyed with his young Celtics teammates because they weren't listening to him and wanted to do everything themselves. It wasn't long before insiders around the league suspected Irving would consider teaming up with LeBron once more, suggesting Kyrie blew up a championship team over something he completely backflipped on 18 months later anyway. All the chatter around the league now is that Kyrie is unhappy and wants to team up with Kevin Durant in New York. But after leaving Cleveland, because he wanted to be the man, a move to the Knicks would make him the second fiddle once again, with KD filling the leading LeBron role. If Kyrie does in fact go to the Knicks, history suggests he'll quickly become unhappy with being Robin to someone else's Batman, and this whole cycle will repeat. Irving is pursuing happiness on a hamster wheel, and at this point, there's just no pleasing him.